The 2025 track and field season is well underway by now, and a whole bunch of people have run fast and put those times on the world leaderboards. And the man who everybody's been waiting for is still Noah Lyles. Most people are focused on his 100-meter dash, because that is the event we've been talking about. He's the Olympic gold medalist in that event, but that really wasn't what he was known for most of his career. Noah Lyles was considered to be a 200-meter sprinter. You don't get a sprint triple at the World Championships if the 200 is not a part of it. And when we look forward to 2025, the same World Championships where he had the bye. He had the bye in both the 100 and the 200. And although I have spent a bunch of time discussing the 100, that event does look pretty stacked. Like, there's real competition for Noah to win the 100 at the Worlds. But for the 200, the more honest I got as I looked back at the world leaderboards, I started to realize I ain't buying it. It still seems to me that by the time we get to the Worlds, Noah is going to be the clear favorite in the 200-meter dash, and I'll explain. Because people forgot just how good he actually is at that event. When he came off the turn in the prelims, the semis, and the finals at the Olympics, not in first place. It's basically the only time I've ever seen it happen. It doesn't mean it never happened, but it almost never happens. Allow me to recap just how dominant Noah Lyles actually is in the 200. The world lead this year is 19.83 seconds when legal. That's the time actually on the boards. And I'm going to focus on all the men who've broken 20 flat on down. And then I'll add in a few extra names. The ones who we expect to be there because they've been right up there with Noah in the past. But before I do it, you have to know exactly what they're going to have to beat when we're talking about the numbers. From the year 2018 all the way up until now, as a season best, Noah Lyles has never run slower than 19.76 seconds. And that year was a COVID year. I'm not making this up, that was 2020. So if you throw that out, 19.65. That is as slow as he has ever run as a season best. Just to put it on the board so we know what type of talent we're working with. But in the year 2024, his slowest race of the entire season was 19.77 seconds. Again, if we throw out the Olympic Games and the sickness that played into his 200-meter performances, we're just talking about the regular season and everything else. 19.77 seconds, and that was into a minus headwind. That was the slowest race he's ever run. I mean, you can count his prelim at the Olympic trials, but I don't count it because it's a prelim. He did what he had to. He won the heat and then he kept it moving. Even when you go back to 2023, for the most part, his slowest race of that season was 19.83 seconds. He technically ran slower in his season opener at the Tom Jones Memorial, which he did win, by the way, but it's not considered like a real meet for what it is. And then beyond that, again, you'd have to go to a World Championship prelim where he ran slower, where he took care of business, and then y'all know what happened. Sprint triple. Need I say more? There's a whole bunch more we could point to about his 200-meter success, but I'm pretty sure you get the point. Noah Lyles is a defending champion 3 times now in the World 200 for a reason. So if you really want a gold in that event, if he wants to win it, you're really gonna have to go through him. So who are the names? Because right now, I ain't seeing a whole lot. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Instead of simply going down the leaderboards, I'm just going to break this up into 3 categories. 3 categories of all the men who've broken 20 flat up until this point in the season, and then we'll get to the extras. The first group are the college kids, because T. Mars McCallum, Garrett Kalund, and even Jordan Anthony have broken the 20 flat barrier in the 200. They're all college Americans that are going to have to go to the USAs, and none of them won the NCAA championship. I mean, just being honest, that's not what happened. So if you factor that in, I don't take them as serious threats, because they're going to have to get out of the USA first, which probably isn't going to happen. And remember, Noah had the bye, so they definitely ain't beating them there. And the next group shares some similarity with them, but they ain't them. Carly Makarawu and Maka Sharamba are both college athletes, but they run for Zimbabwe. And those two athletes, who were basically the best in all of the NCAA in the 200 this past season, indoors and outdoors, might I add, makes sense that they were that good, because they were in the Olympic final in 2024, competing for Zimbabwe, but even with Noah Lyles, as far as we can tell, below average. They were still behind him, so I'm not taking him seriously as a threat, at least not yet. The next two names are a little bit more competitive now. We have Alex Ogando and Jereem Richards. Both of them have competed in World and Olympic finals, but even though they ran incredibly fast at Grand Slam track, again, for this point in the season, let's just look at their head-to-heads against Noah across their entire career. Alex Ogando has lined up against Noah 8 times, and he's never won. 0-8, just saying. Jereem Richards technically beat him once. Like, they lined up together and crossed the line ahead of him once. But that was all the way back in 2019. That also means that he has 13 losses on his record. 1 for 14. So you could take him if you want to in a race with Noah Lyles, but I ain't. The only other name worth mentioning who's on that list, based on real times that have hit the leaderboards up until now, is Kenny Bednarek. He has been incredibly dominant at Grand Slam track this season, undefeated in the 100 and the 200. But even going as fast as he has, both wind legal and wind assisted, the times he's put on the board aren't fast enough to show that he can run what I'll call Noah Lyles times, like 19.6, 19.5. Like, that's not what we've seen. I'm not saying Kenny Bednarek is not going to be competitive. He's always highly competitive on the world stage. It's why he has a whole bunch of medals. The only problem is, none of those medals are gold. And more than once, we know the man who actually got the gold medal while he was there. So now I'm going to go to the bonus names. Not the athletes who've run in 2025 and put times that were faster than 20 flat on the board, but the ones who we know are supposed to be there when it's all done, like when the dust settles. Letsile Tebogo is the Olympic champion, so obviously you got to bring him into the conversation. He appears to be getting over an injury at this point in the year, so that's not ideal for where he is. But we know how fast he can go. So if we just assume that he gets back to top gear and can run as fast as he's capable of, he probably does have the best shot to beat Noah, in a one-off race where everybody's coming with the best they have. But that's assuming that he does. And it's still assuming that Noah is underachieving. Tebogo might go faster. I'm just saying, up until now in 2025, we have no evidence that he's going to run faster than he did in the Olympics. You can let me know in the comments, but that's just what we're going off of right now. And the only other name I would dare bring into this conversation is Erriyon Knighton. And yes, we know Erriyon Knighton is talented, and he's still on the younger side of his pro career. But through all the races he's run with Noah Lyles, he's done a bunch of them. The only time he's ever crossed the line ahead of him was back in 2021 at the Olympic trials, and those were in prelims and semifinals, not in the final. So from 2021 up until now, he's never beaten Noah, not even in a heat. Just saying. And considering he was behind him at the Olympic Games, where once again, Noah was supposedly not at his best, I don't expect that to change this year. Even in 2025, this is the most valuable notes we actually have to go off of. They both haven't run hardly at all outdoors, but when they did, they were at the Tom Jones Memorial in 2 different heats, and they ran the open 400. But Noah Lyles ran even faster through 400. So with Erriyon Knighton behind, with a longer distance, and we know that Noah Lyles is faster through the 100, which is a shorter distance, I'm taking Noah still in the 200 without any fear. Depending on how you look at it, you could easily argue that the 200 is the race that separates the men from the boys. Don't get me wrong. The 100 is, perhaps the most high-profile event in track and field, and certainly in sprinting. But when it comes to the 200, you can't just be fast, because now you have to carry it through with speed endurance. And for that reason, we don't see as much variation in who's going to win the 200 compared to the 1. If you really are better than everybody, for the most part, it's going to keep showing up. Noah Lyles has been better than everyone else in the world for a while. The biggest blips on the radar have come in those Olympic years. But outside of that, the 200 belongs to him. And we cannot forget just how talented he actually is, because Noah Lyles really doesn't lose 200-meter dash races when he wants to run them. And the reason is because nobody in the game right now, for the most part, again, there are a few blips on the radar, but almost nobody can actually go as fast as him. So when we see world leads that go 19.84, 19.83, or even wind-assisted 19.79, Noah Lyles opened his season in the 200 last year in 19.77 into a minus 1.6 headwind. That's how he started his 200-meter season. That is what the world is up against. So even though we haven't seen Noah much, we know the one time that we will, and we know which 200-meter dash races he is supposed to actually show up and give us. The only question is anybody going to go with him after the gun goes off. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.